Rivalries reignited.
Historic heavyweights.
The spiciest of derbies.
New kids on the block.
The best leagues in the land are back.
Tom Hitchcock crashes, Tom Hitchcock goes, Tom Hitchcock scores! Leaving it all out there for the fans.
A steamroller has just charged through.
Dynasty, destiny, drama.
Your Women's National League Cup champions.
Future stars set to shine.
Rig, who's been on fire all season.
Champagne rugby? Look no further.
To score one of the most memorable tries.
Durham University are BUCS Super Rugby League champions.
The truth is, in this league, it's anyone's on the day.
That is full time. It is 6 wins from 6 for Swansea.
Entertainment guaranteed.
BUCS Super Rugby.
Women's National League.
BUCS Rugby is back.
Hello and welcome to a cold and Christmassy Cardiff Arms Park where the saga continues. It's the Cardiff Clash 2, the first one this season. Cardiff University got over the line for the first time, but this is a rivalry that just gets better and better and better. 2 points separate the teams over the last 4 games. Pretty quiet at the moment. You can hear a pin drop, but later on we've got 2,000 supporters here. The opportunity for one of these teams to go into the new year in the top 4. The team who comes second today could end up in 7th place, which, considering both teams have tasted the top of the table this year, is an absolutely astonishing return to the best league, our favourite league. It is Wednesday. It is BUCS Super Rugby. Wherever you're watching from around the world, it is great to have your company. We're counting down to kick-off. There is so much to talk about, but of course I've caught up with some great exponents of this league that we love so much. So let's have a chat now to Alan Flowers and a little look back where I caught up with the best hooker, best looking hooker in the league, Ben Chapman. Look, he's a snack, all right? Talk to me about occasions then, particularly the Cardiff Clash, because you're guaranteed 2 a year at the Arms Park. Both groups, Cardiff Met and Cardiff University, both bring great support. It seems to bring out the best in both teams as well. Tell me about those occasions and how special they are.
Yeah, Cardiff Met seem to always bring their A game on those occasions. We're lucky enough to have 3 last year. We had that extra one at King Coyd, but out of those 3 games, the points came down to 5 points in it. So I think we kind of owe ourselves one for this year, kind of bring one back. But they all seem to go down to the last wire. Always a good game for the crowd. Good game. It's gone from the build-up all the way up to the aftermath. I feel like it's a good day for the whole club and university.
Tell me about that one at King Coyd then, because as an occasion, it was magnificent. We'll talk about the occasion after we talk about the game, because does that feel like one that got away?
It does, yeah. Going up 20-odd points in the first few minutes, I feel like it was the same story for a few games we had in that season. We kind of get ahead of ourselves in the first start and let the occasion, in that case, get ahead of us. But it was really one that we should have taken by the horns and taken over the line. But I feel like the occasion did kind of get to us at that point, but maybe one for next year.
When you look back on your rugby career, though, surely that is an event that is going to stand out.
It is, yeah, definitely. That was their crowd, the whole tunnel coming from the pitches. Felt like there were some mind games going on there, sticking it at King Coyd. But I think we soaked it up and gave a good shot. But we'll be happy to do it again next year if it comes.
Round 11 this season, you play Cardiff Met. It is the Cardiff Clash again. One score either way could decide it, as has been the case historically. How much are you looking forward to it this year, and why is it going to be different this year?
Oh, I can't wait. Well, as long as we start again as we did last year, get some points on the board early on, and as long as we can finish it off in the after half time, which is where we seem to slip away most of the season. But if we start to push on after half time, get into our actual rugby and get on with it, I feel like we've got it this year. I feel like our skill set that we can bring forward will be a good match to the physicality of Cardiff Met.
Well, here we are again. We've had some amazing games here over the years, and the last one where you finally found a way to win was pretty special. Has that been at the front of your mind in the build-up to this?
Yes, Dave, it was. It was nice to get that monkey off your back, as to speak. So it's been a long time coming. So, but again, great spectacle, and let's hope we have that again tonight. The result will take care of itself, but let's hope it's a good game of rugby again.
You had a few of those monkeys off your back this year, haven't you? That incredible start to the season. I mean, it is a long season, and you found that because form peaks and dips. But how do you feel about where you're at?
Yeah, we're happy, if I'm honest, Dave. You know, we've hit the targets we wanted to hit. Hit a bit of a slump the last couple again, but again, number of reasons. But I think the league, again, it just shows the depth within the league and the strength within the league. The results again today have shown that. I think since I can remember, it's the closest it's been, and I think it's not going to be a lot in it right to the end, if I'm honest. The
depth in the league, also the depth in your squad, because there are opportunities for a few new faces tonight. Yes,
hit by a few injuries, but also good news and availability of a few boys pushing for international honours with Wales and Ireland. So that's a great reason not to have them. But yeah, it's given other boys opportunity to step in and hopefully experience the atmosphere and develop them for next season.
Let's talk about the atmosphere then, because looking at the team sheet with the likes of Di Jones and Ed Dunford and Greg Ramage and a few others as well, they know what it's like to experience this. These are special moments for these players, aren't they?
Yes, they are, Dave, and I think these are the moments I'll remember, to be honest. They, you know, unless you make it in a professional league, then I doubt if you're going to play in this type of atmosphere again. So, and that's been the message all along. Let's savour it, enjoy it. Irrespective of the result, get out and enjoy it and soak up the atmosphere.
What about the opponents tonight then? Cardiff Met, great rivalry with yourselves, but they're having a similar season to you, really, aren't they?
Yeah, again, I think that's the season this year with all the teams. It seems to be there. It's up and down one week from the next, and I think every team's looking for a little bit of consistency. But again, quality outfit on and off the pitch. So we all know what's going to come tonight. It's going to be a tough game.
Can't wait. Good luck.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
From the best-looking hooker in BUCS Super Rugby to the formerly best-looking coach in BUCS Super Rugby. Joining us today, Scott Snedden, former head coach at Loughborough. Back here now working with the Scarlets. How's life this side of the bridge?
Cold initially, but no, I'm not really enjoying it. Yeah, it's been a good transition. Had a good, only been in sort of 3 weeks, but really enjoying it so far.
Well, we're not going to talk about the Loughborough result today. Exeter, of course, getting a big 5-point win at Topsham. Let's talk about these two teams then. Actually, you go way back. Were you a Cardiff Met boy?
UIC back in them days, but yeah, yeah, that was 2008 I graduated, so a long time ago, but yeah, I have got an affiliation with the Met.
But you've had experience coaching against both of these sides. What have been your thoughts?
I think they're both two physical teams. Cardiff Met, probably one of the best set pieces in the league, I would have said, this year. Cardiff Uni come with ferocious line speed. Probably two teams that both attack the breakdown. But then when they do get a chance to play, they're quite happy to move the ball as well. So I think physical sides is probably how I'd say they'll probably match up tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
These conditions, it is cold. It's actually not bad conditions to play in because it's not wet. What about the occasion though? There are going to be thousands of supporters baying for blood tonight. How do you think the players are going to respond to that?
I think you go one of two ways, don't you? Fight or flight. And I think you've got to enjoy the occasion, because some guys might only get one or two chances, or one chance to go and play in front of a packed Arms Park, in front of their peers, and just before Christmas. So I think it's a great occasion, and you've got to make the most of it. But I know there's going to be a lot of boys within both squads that are probably pretty nervous as well.
Very much so. And very much looking forward to having your company tonight. Scott's going to be joining us on co-coms as well. Actually, did Danny Milton coach you?
Nah, he was coaching the seconds.
Fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to this tonight. I did have a chat to Danny Milton though, and also let's catch up with Thanos himself, Joe Cowell.
For those who've never been, tell me what a Wednesday night feels like when it's at home.
Oh, I can't really explain it, to be honest. It's not just a Wednesday night, it's the lead up to it. So regardless of who we're playing on a Wednesday, the closer it gets to kick off, the more it starts to slowly build up. So we normally have a team run on the Wednesday. So it's the first chance you kind of see the boys outside of training before the game, and then you have a couple of hours to yourself to kind of get yourself ready. And yeah, the way it slowly starts to build up is crazy. And then obviously by the time you get the kick off, everyone's in full voice. So yeah, really good.
Let's talk about derbies, because obviously Kincoid is such a special place to play, but I imagine as incredible an amphitheatre as it becomes. It must step up another level again when it's Cardiff in town.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we were quite lucky to experience Cardiff Clash 3.0 at Rugby 1. But even so, whether it's at King Coed, whether it's down at Cardiff Arms Park, you know, the atmosphere, the way that everyone kind of goes into the game, whether that's playing or whether you're fans, it's a real special thing. And you know, like all games, there's no easy game in BUCS, but I think going into that is, you know, the atmosphere, the intensity, the way that it's all built up is a real special week, and yeah, hope it continues.
Do you have a favourite derby memory so far?
Oh, I think it was Cardiff Clash at King Coed, the quarter final. You know, the way that it was all sort of like ready for us to go down. The amount of people that were there was crazy. Couldn't see a space in the stand at all. So yeah, to get it onto King Coed was really special. But yeah, any sort of Cardiff Clash Welsh derby is always there.
Danny, big occasion. Everyone's been really excited about it, but what's the build-up been like this week?
Yeah, well, it's come off the back of a couple of poor results for us, so it's been a big chance for us to reflect on what's gone right, but also what's gone wrong, and we're excited for tonight, Cardiff Clash 2, and it should be a great occasion and a nice way to finish for Christmas.
What has gone wrong?
Thanks, Dave. Well, yeah, probably just haven't, you know, we went on a run of 5 wins, which we were pleased with, and probably got ahead of ourselves in terms of where we're at. It's a competitive league, and every game's a big game. You know, each week you look at it, and you know, we've fallen foul the last 2 weeks of not bringing probably the emotion we need to the performances. And if you're not on your A game in this league, you're gonna, you know, catch a cold, and we certainly did last week against Swansea.
You put the heavy artillery into the front row today. What's the thinking behind that?
Oh, it's a big part of the game, isn't it? There's, you know, the scrum, the set piece, and with Joe Cowell and Matt in there, we know, you know, we'll certainly have a solid set piece, and that's a big part of how we want to start the game tonight. And we're really looking for them to do a job.
It's that time of year as well, isn't it, where you pick up a couple of injuries, Wales and Scotland 20s come and rob some of your players. I mean, you're obviously pleased that they get the international honours and the representative honours, but how frustrating is it when you can't necessarily pick from all of the riches you have?
Oh, it's not frustrating at all. That's part and parcel of this league. This is, you know, this is a league that's designed to give young student rugby players that opportunity to get their academic degree, but also thrive in rugby environments. So for them to be involved in Wales, Scotland 20s and other opportunities is exactly what we want. It's that alternative pathway we keep talking about.
Your opponents today, Cardiff, they're the real deal, aren't they? It's not a one-off when they come and beat all these top teams, and they showed you earlier in the season. They showed Exeter down at Sandy Park as well. They come to play and they get results. Yeah, well, you know, let's not forget that what was I think 3 points separating the teams last year when we were on the right end of it. So we know the sort of side Cardiff are. We know what they'll bring, and that's what makes tonight a great occasion. It is a great occasion, and we've got, what, 2,000 supporters. They're keeping you at opposite sides of the ground as well. It's not just Cardiff Met versus Cardiff University. This is a genuine fixture in the Welsh rugby calendar now, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's been nice. You start to see the stuff that Rob Cole's been putting out from the Welsh Rugby Union, and the support that's coming behind the product from Wales and the Welsh Rugby Union, everybody involved. So we're fortunate to have that, and these are great occasions, and long may they continue.
Also, I'm freezing cold, and you haven't got a coat on. Are you going to sort that out at some point tonight? Or?
Get the shorts back on and put a jacket on.
Best calves in BUCS Super Rugby. Go well tonight.
Thanks, Dave.
Excuse me. Highlights from the first Cardiff Clash of the season there, where Cardiff University got over the line for victory for the first time in this historic encounter in the BUCS Super Rugby era. But you join us live from the Arms Park. It is Cardiff Clash 2 this season. Both teams coming in off the back of back-to-back defeats, looking to get form going into Christmas, going into the new year. Let's take a look at some of the results that have brought us to this point in the season as the crowds start to fill the grounds here. Couple of results today. Scott Snedden, Exeter, 5-pointer against Loughborough, who picked up a try-scoring bonus point. Bath with another 5 points as well. Leeds Beckett getting 22, but they leave empty-handed. No real surprises there. Exeter and Bath in excellent form this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're both very strong squads, both well coached, well drilled, and it was always going to be tough for Loughborough to go down there pre-Christmas. I know they've got a few knocks in around the squad, but credit to Exeter, they're pretty physical on their own patch and really tough to beat down there.
2 games have been lost to the weather, Durham and Swansea, at polar ends of the country, and polar being the operative word. Frozen pitches mean that we couldn't get a game there this week, so they'll be rearranged. That's what it means for the table. That try bonus for Loughborough keeps them top of the league. Bath there just 1 point behind. Exeter 38 points now with a game in hand, so they could go top if they win that game in hand, and it is clustered down there. Cardiff Met in 4th, Hartpury in 5th, Cardiff in 6th. If results go a certain way, then Cardiff Uni, having been top of the league a few weeks ago, could end up in 7th when everyone has played 11. Likewise, Cardiff Met. Both of those teams have been top of the league. It can change pretty quickly, can't it?
I think the fascinating thing about the league is just how competitive it is this year. It's absolutely brilliant, and you go a couple of losses on the bounce or a couple of wins on the bounce, and you could be one end or the other.
Well, it is competitive, and we have seen that anybody can beat anybody this season. Look, it's pretty chilly here. I can't see a coat in sight, but I can see a lot of Christmas jumpers. It's a special occasion, this. It's a fun occasion as well.
Oh, I think it's, last Wednesday, I think, of term. I'm not sure how many they're expecting, Dave, today, but the crowd's going to be bouncing. I'm sure they're not going to be as cold as we are up here because they'll have their beer jackets on. But I think it's great for the players to come and play at a great stadium in front of a bouncing crowd.
Well, I did say anybody can beat anybody, and we have actually got evidence of that. So Leeds Beckett got their first victory of the season, so we follow it around. Leeds Beckett beat Nottingham, Nottingham beat Swansea, Swansea beat Cardiff Met, Cardiff Met beat Hartpury, Hartpury beat Cardiff, Cardiff beat Exeter, Exeter beat Bath, Bath beat Loughborough, Loughborough beat Durham, Durham beat Leeds Beckett Uni. So bottom to the top, anybody can beat anybody. That is a beautiful animated graphic as well. I mean, I don't know who came up with it, but it's a lovely job. But it's perfect, isn't it? It's the perfect storm. It's university rugby. It's playing with your mates every Wednesday and going into kick-off every Wednesday thinking we can genuinely get the W tonight.
Yeah, I think everybody's home form at the moment is generally pretty good up at the top end of the table. But if you're not on your money going into the game, even at home, the opposition it's almost like a cup final every week, and they're quite happy to, if you're not on it, they'll come and turn up and try and turn you over.
The crowd have already found their voices here. We're counting down to kickoff. We've got about 7 minutes to go, but there are big groups of players in. A lot of the players who are involved with the club who aren't selected this evening are here in various levels of party spirit, let's just say. They are going to give it big guns tonight.
Yeah, I'm quite jealous, to be honest. They've got quite a few beers in front of them, and I think end of term, I would have thought majority of them would have either given in their coursework or they'll be waking up very early tomorrow morning to get it done, and I think they're looking forward to getting into Christmas now, and no better way to kick it off.
Did you ever play at Arms Park?
Quite a few times, yeah.
Yeah? Go on then, give us a good memory.
Can I say it? Glamorgan Wanderers against Cardiff RFC.
Okay.
Was one of them. I think it was Boxing Day. We turned them over. I think it was 29-6. That was quite exciting to be opposition. But
it's a legendary ground, isn't it? Because obviously we're in the shadow of the Principality Stadium. That's an iconic stadium around the world. But if you say Cardiff Arms Park to a rugby fan, no matter where they're from, they know what you're talking about. It's a real privilege to play here.
It is, and you look at the history behind the whole ground, the players that have played on the park, you know, you go back to some of a long time ago before you and I were born, Dave, but you know, the old Cardiff Arms Park where the banks were absolutely rammed full. It's, you know, the history is incredible, and to still see it here and bouncing tonight is brilliant.
And to know that in this great rugby city, beyond Cardiff Rugby as they are now and Cardiff RFC in the Welsh Premiership, to just know that there is a thriving rivalry between Cardiff Met and Cardiff University. Oh, there we are. Look, hello everyone. Where's that camera there? Nice to see you. Great to have your company wherever you're watching around the world. But to know that this rivalry is a genuine competitive rivalry where over the last 4 games only 2 points separate the teams. It's been single-figure digits over those 4 games too. It's got to be good for rugby.
Absolutely. I think you're challenging yourself every week, and that's the great thing. There isn't any easy wins, and I know it's pretty cliche, but the fact that, you know, you're in for a battle every Wednesday, you've got to be on the money in terms of, I guess, your mindset going into the game as well as being accurate.
And as a former UIC player, as it was then, of course, a former coach at Loughborough, now involved with the Scarlets, a professional rugby team, a well-established rugby team. Is this a genuine place where teams are looking for talent now in BUCS Super Rugby? Yeah,
I think it is. We were fortunate at Loughborough that we were dealing with 8-9 academies, and they were all recruiting from the BUCS Super Rugby. I know from my short time in Wales in the last few weeks that, you know, we are looking at BUCS Super Rugby as one of the vehicles to recruit from. So it's an exciting league. There's some really good, exciting players around. It's a genuine player pathway now.
We've got fans of all ages as well. Great to have them, and great to have your company as well. Let's take a look at some of the results from last week. Oh, it's a present for everyone, isn't it? Leeds Becker getting their first win of the season against Nottingham, keeping them pointless as well. Cardiff defeated at home to Bath. Hartbury falling short against Exeter. They were both great games though. Swansea, a resurgent Swansea. They've beaten both Cardiff Met and Cardiff University in the last couple of weeks. And Loughborough getting a big win to avenge that opening day defeat against Durham. Of course, they were defeated today. Let's take a look at the team sheets for today as well. We've got Cardiff University, first of all. Theo Bavakwa back in the team. Cardiff Rugby's loose head prop. He's a very exciting prospect. And Ben Chapman, who has started every game. They welcome back Greg Ramage too, a real OG of the back row for this era. Di Jones and Ed Dumford, they are big game 9s and 10s as well. Di Jones scored 2 tries in this fixture last year. Opportunities for some new players as well. Toby Peach and Seth Butler coming in as finishers, and it's a return to the squad for Michael Davis too, the diminutive replacement scrum half. As for Cardiff Met, Joe Cowell returns on the loose head side after the tight head experiment last week. It's a fairly settled tight 5, and as Danny Milton said in his pre-match interview, they've gone for the heavy artillery to try and get an advantage in the scrum early on. Rory Morgan at 9, Brad Roderick Evans, the leading scorer in the league at 10, and Ethan Morgan, Jake Thomas and Roma Zheng, a lethal back 3 who scored a lot of tries this season and have played a lot of games as well. Ben Murphy and Elliot Salt, the replacement props, expect to see them busy around the park, and Ewan Bowden returns to the bench as well to offer a different angle in the back 3. Oh, look at it. The Santa hats are out. The Christmas jumpers are on. The excitement is building. Every single person in the crowd thinks that their team is going to be victorious. Look, I'm not going to ask you what you think the score is going to be, because that's not fair, and you've got even less of a clue than I have. But what are the non-negotiables from the moment the whistle goes? If you're going to make an impression on this game, if you're going to get a positive result in this game, what are you going to have to do as Cardiff or Cardiff Met tonight?
I think you've got to turn up and be physical. I think you know, it's a cold night, you want to get involved, but I think if you don't turn up and you don't win your collisions both sides of the ball, you know, you're going to be on the back foot, especially in the first 20 minutes. So that's a non-negotiable. I think teams may feel themselves out. I'm not sure that's the right thing to say, but I think they may start to look at each other first 20 minutes, and it'll be interesting to see how the kick battle goes and a bit of a kick chase. So I think non-negotiable is just that effort first 20.
Well, you talk about the kick battle there. We've got Ed Dunford and Brad Roderick Evans, two outside halves with a lot of BUCS Super Rugby experience. Ed Dunford as well, he's become a little bit of a pantomime villain amongst the Cardiff Met Ultras. They really go after him. However, he shut them right up earlier in the season. He drained that conversion, last kick of the game, and postured in front of them. He looks to be enjoying his rugby more, and as a result he's performing better. How important do you think the enjoyment is for these players to really get the best out of them?
I think it's pretty significant. Like that age group, there's not a huge amount of experience, although they have played a lot of BUCS Super Rugby. But you've got to be enjoying your rugby to be confident. And once you've got that confidence and you are enjoying it, you're pretty buoyant. You can do a lot of things, especially Ed Dunford. He's an exciting player.
Cardiff Met out first. Joe Cowell, the captain, leads them out. He's in the front row with Tyler Olding and Matt Yorworth-Scott this evening. Fantastic reception for Cardiff University. They're led out by Luke Pollock, the Ulsterman at 13. He's an important cog in their wheel, isn't he, Luke Pollock?
Yeah, he's quite an exciting player. Some nice touches, but also very strong defensively. So I know that he was a player that we targeted at Loughborough a few weeks ago, making sure that we either kept the ball away from him or stopped the ball getting to him, because he can do some damage in a lot of space.
Cardiff Met out there in the navy maroon and gold hoops. Cardiff University red jerseys and black shirts. It is a deafening noise here at Cardiff Arms Park. Drink it in. Merry Christmas, everyone. Ethan Morgan gets the Cardiff Clash underway. And it will be Cardiff Uni with the first carry. The first clearance too. Dai Jones has had a slightly more severe fade than the last time he played in a Cardiff Clash. It's a good clearance kick though. Too many of these Cardiff Met boys, particularly in the back line, look like they've cut their own hair. Certainly bleached it themselves. So Rory Morgan with the first touch, and that's Cowell who gets chop tackled.
Use it!
There's Ewan Guy in at 7 today.
Stop! Yeah, good three.
Oh, there's a lot of noise here. I wonder if they're going to be able to keep this up all night. A penalty for Cardiff Met. Neck roll called, and with Brad Roderick Evans on the pitch.
I didn't get the number, I'm sorry.
I would usually ask you, what do you think they'll do, corner or post? But I think that speaks for itself with that man wearing 10.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't want to jinx him. I haven't been in that position myself before, but I think obviously looking to go for the post and build a score. It's been quite interesting how they've, both teams have looked to kick early, straight from the off.
So Brad Roderick Evans started all games since round 1 that he missed. He's got a fantastic individual try last week that he hoped would get Cardiff Met back into the game. Alas, they fell short on the night. This is his first opportunity in bitterly cold Cardiff to get 3 points on the board. Brad the Boot strikes it goalwards. And the score remains 0-0.
It wasn't the nicest of strikes, Dave.
No.
But it's a tough one. Ball's cold. Might just be able to feel his toes at the moment. But yeah, that's a bit of a let-off for Cardiff Uni.
Behind.
Well, that's something you've got to take into consideration, isn't it? Because I know we've mentioned it, but you can see the steam coming from the mouths and the shoulders of the players. Your fingers, your hands get cold. The ball's a little bit firmer. So here's Jake Bond with the first carry. Runs into Alex Ashton.
All stand, now we're on.
Now a kick to compete.
No one's touched it, no one's touched it.
It's bounced, and I think the touchline is going to beat everyone. Interesting variety, though.
That'll be the middle.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think I don't think anybody wants to make any errors in their own 40, so looking to try and get the advantage with a kicking game early on.
Well, this is our first look at the line-out.
What's my arm?
Set piece going to be absolutely massive today. And that's a good start. Tim Moon taking that on the blind side flank. Sorry, the open side flank for Cardiff today. He's been playing in the second team. Played last week in press, so he's kept his place. Decent ruck speed there for Cardiff University.
All offside.
But then Dunford
Stop, all of you!
kicks that into the 22. Morgan, left-footed.
All on, all on.
Everyone on side here. So Brad Morgan in at 12 today. He makes the tackle. He's been playing a lot of rugby in the championship for Cardiff Met. Not a massive opportunity though in BUCS Super Rugby. Today is his chance. Full diving catch in the slips there for Cardiff.
It's a bit of a shame that one. They some pretty good ruck speed, and almost had Cardiff Met on the edge, but just a little bit inaccurate on the pass.
Use it!
So Di Jones digging forward again. He's going to put it to the boot. Maybe one for Verbikas to chase on the right-hand side. Better take, though. Really confident coming forward.
Use 9.
Cardiff led up to halfway again, and this time it's Rory Morgan who's going to box it clear. One for the purists at the moment in that middle third. As that bounces forward, it's gathered by Joris Scott. He's back with Cardiff Met. Could there be a little bit of width here?
Touch, play on.
Oh, that's an awkward bounce, and one way to the other. Charge down, they say. So here's Rydian Williams. Chips in behind, but Cardiff Met get back, and Roma Zheng having a battle with the touchline, bailed into touch. And just a little bit of lit touch paper there.
One thing you do get, coach, is don't let the ball bounce.
Yeah.
2 bounces there, almost caught Cardiff Uni just off guard, and then the other bounce almost worked in their favour.
9. Use the ball quicker at the back. I've told them as well. Quicker.
To Ben Chapman, Navy scrum cap. Shortened numbers in the line out here for Cardiff. Oh, and it's been fumbled. So we're going to have a first look at the scrum here, perhaps. Unless Rory Morgan kicks it away.
Use it!
She's going to. Again up the tram lines. One for Jake Thomas to chase. It's taken by Rydian Williams.
Play on. Stop.
Return with interest. Brad Roderick Evans. Again up the tram line to Di Jones. Passes that in field. There's Ben Chapman. Oh, right onto the right shoulder of Morgan. That was a good contact. Another penalty for Cardiff Met. Now, after that missed penalty before, do you think this affects the decision?
I think he'll be pretty confident off the back of his goal kicking the season up until now. That yeah, I've just seen him point to the post.
Yeah.
I think Cardiff Uni would be probably a little bit disappointed in terms of coming out of that kick battle early. Just not sure whether they needed to carry up against a good kick chase there, and obviously got turned over.
Well, interestingly, it was Ben Chapman who was back there, the hooker. And you're not going to expect your hooker to put the boot on it, but at the same time, when you've only got the left winger in support, you always run the risk of getting turned over, and that's what happened. He is getting dog's abuse from the Cardiff University supporters below us. It is a heck of a racket here at the Cardiff Arms Park. for Brad Roderick-Evans. His second penalty of the night. Sends it goalwards. A better strike. And a successful strike. Cardiff University 0, Cardiff Met 3.
Yeah, he was a lot happier with that strike. You could tell as soon as he struck the ball, he started to turn to go back to his own 22. That should probably settle his nerves a little bit.
8 minutes gone. Second shot at goal there for Roderick-Evans. A couple of sloppy penalties from Cardiff University. Oh, and sloppy from the restart as well. The referee warned them.
I called the winger twice.
That's
he
criminal.
carried on running. Offside.
Absolutely criminal. Just give just score, just concede points, and you want to go and put the opposition under a bit of pressure, and then straight away you've just relieved that pressure. So advantage Cardiff Met.
Well, this is the first scrum of the match. As we mentioned, Joe Campbell and Matt Yorith-Scott recognised as the scrummaging props for Cardiff Met, but Thema Bavak were back in the team. Cardiff Rugby, Wales under-20s, loose head. Adam Williams returning as well. Missed the last couple of weeks. He's played for Wales under-20s in the Six Nations too. Started the first 8 rounds.
Space. These 4 players.
Some great chance from Cardiff Uni.
So, for those of you watching at home, they've split the supporters. So Cardiff University are in the stand that we're in, which is the same as your camera angle that you're watching from. So opposite us are Cardiff Met. So I don't know whether it's by proximity or not, but Cardiff University definitely the loudest supporters so far, as that looks a pretty solid scrum from Met. Bradley Roderick-Evans gets it moving. Roma Zheng onto the ball. But then some crossing in midfield. Well, it's been an error-strewn 10 minutes.
I think there might be a few nerves out there. They're just trying to settle into the swing of the things. But it has been a bit stop-start. Cardiff Met will probably be pretty pleased with that scrum. Just got the nudge forward slightly. I think they'll probably fancy themselves in that battle off the back of that.
Let's take another look at where the crossing took place. That was Rory Morgan. Yeah, it was Brad Morgan, wasn't it? Just taking a couple of defenders out. And that is another line out. Oof, and Cardiff Met getting away with a fumble as well, but the set piece just not operating for Cardiff University at the moment. They've blown their last 2 lineouts, but that is a big collision on Joe Cowell.
Thank you.
Great energy in the tackle from Cardiff Uni, forcing Met to the kick. Burbicas underneath it. Looks lively on his feet, doesn't he, the right winger?
And they got an opportunity to move it if they want to play a bit of rugby here.
Oh, they did. They had room on the edge, didn't they? Outside David Chuetti. Now Jake Thomas rejoins the line. Cam Scott. Another midfield penalty.
Knock on, and he kicked it in front.
Not sure this one's quite in the range of Brad Roderick-Evans, but they need to be careful in this part of the pitch, don't they?
Yeah, I think that's the 3rd penalty that Cardiff Uni have conceded in this area, and unfortunately that was from their own possession. You know, there was an opportunity to move the ball to the edge early. Whether they saw the space, they obviously didn't choose to play there, and that opportunity to phase after was just a phase too late, and probably panicked a little bit when they didn't need to.
So it was, yeah, knock on from Cam Scott, and then Pollock just in front of him throws the right boot at it. Interesting that Gilbert's gone for touch there, having that left-right combo of sorry, not Gilbert, Ethan Morgan, having Brad Roderick-Evans who can kick for touch with the right and Morgan with the left. You can get some extra metres, can't you?
Yeah, you're just more comfortable and ball naturally coming round.
Oh, here's Cal with a bit of space to run into. He gets around the first tackler and Met into the 22 for the first time. Here's Harvey. Brandon Harvey presents it, 10 metres to go. Cal with another carry. Interesting to see his work rate, something that I know he's keen to work on. That was Ewan Guy in at half-back, and
Leave it.
Met within 5 metres in the shadow of the post. Best opportunity of the game so far for Cardiff Met. They're all pretty narrow. Now Roderick Evans out the back to Chuetti. Brilliant turnover. Greg Ramage.
Straight to your hands off feet.
Well, I think that's an opportunity missed, really. They had great go forward off Joe Cowell's carry. I see what they were trying to do on the short side by catching the guys not folding, maybe offside, but if they'd actually played the same way, that they were definitely shorting up the Cardiff Uni defence. Again, was that the right time to go wide? Don't know. They were doing a pretty good job of getting momentum with their forward carries. Sometimes, you know, if you go in with that, backs do get excited, but I'm not sure that was the picture to go.
Better from Chapman this time. He finds his man again. Tim Moon's the target. Still 3-0. Just that one Brad Roderick Evans penalty.
First off.
Separating the teams. There is Ramage. Ooh, that looked tight.
Players dropping, penalty only.
Jake Bond on Greg Ramage.
It's a penalty only.
Shoulder to head.
Player was dropping.
Just a penalty, nothing more.
Yeah, I think the refs, his ARs wouldn't have had a decent sight of that. Bear in mind it was broken off the maul. I think in the occasion, if he's not had a second opinion on that, it's probably the right call. Mind you, we haven't seen the replays.
No, not at all. But it looked obviously high. So Ed Dunford finds a good touch. One of the most disappointing things today for me is that Ed Dunford's got rid of the moustache, but you know.
Dave, we're mid-December.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, you've got to keep your face warm, haven't you? Good ball again, and here's Chapman. Di Jones, a little bit of width to work with. Oh, it's out the back. And then a loose pass, and we could have a foot race here. Hack forward, back into the 22. Roma Zheng putting on the afterburners. Oh, it's been knocked on, and then Roma Zheng can't gather. Complete chaos in the Cardiff Clash.
Okay, it's all good. It's just a knock-on.
Fascinating. Cardiff Uni finally nail a line out in the opposite, or close to the opposition's point zone, and inaccurate again. So then find themselves they've got a scrum now on their own 10 metre. I think again they'll be kicking themselves because they haven't got into the 22. If they were a little bit more accurate, I know that there was opportunities on the edge, but BUCS Super Rugby, there's a high turnover rate, always happens. But the problem now is they've got to now exit from their own 22.
18.
Oh, Roma Zheng putting on the afterburners there. That could have been a little Cardiff Clash moment of magic. First put in of the game then for Di Jones. Cardiff Met looking to put the squeeze on. Cardiff deal with that pretty well. That's a good carry. Cam Scott. He's pretty direct. It's the third start of the season for Cam Scott. Been on the bench 8 times though.
I think Cardiff Uni will be very happy with that exit. Very efficient, great carry, and a great kick there from Di Jones. I think this might be the first opportunity we get to see Cardiff Met. Hopefully a bit of attacking ball in the opposition half.
Yeah, line out on the 10. Left a few big men in midfield, so Jake Bond's there, the back rower. First job, find the man, which they don't. They fluff their lines, and it's Chapman who gathers it. Takes Cardiff up to the halfway line. Here's Ramage. Excellent carry from him. Gets rid of the first tackler. Great body position.
Backwards.
Ball's gone backwards, but that takes Dunford out of the next attack.
Leave it 3.
Oh, it's messy there, but Di Jones does all right in the end.
Stop, Reds.
They put it skywards. Again, it's a kick to compete. Chuetti's underneath it. It's come back Cardiff's way. Another big collision in midfield. Barney Langton in there making tackles. Dai Jones off James Roberts. That's gone forward. Back with Cardiff Met. Very, very scrappy. Now some turnover ball to try and do something with. Cam Scott called into defensive duty.
Okay. Not happy there with him just diving off his feet, so we'll just go back to the scrum.
Again, I think Cardiff Uni will be a little bit disappointed there. They had opportunities. Cardiff Met were a little bit narrow, but just not accurate enough. There's quite a few passes that aren't quite going to hand at the moment.
What are the kind of things you can work on in a game to try and improve that accuracy?
I think you just got to hold your feet a little bit in terms of get a bit more depth. Don't put yourself under that much pressure. Cardiff Met are looking to come with a little bit of line speed. So if you're trying to catch the ball on the gain line whilst you've got a couple of defenders in your face, you're putting yourself under a fair bit of pressure. And you know, if you're not as skilled as maybe other teammates, then you know, you're gonna find yourself in a tough position right on the gain line.
A decent scrum from Cardiff Uni as Rory Morgan comes away with it. That's Ethan Morgan trying to get around the outside for Roma Zheng to gallop into space. Gets around the defenders, Roma Zheng. Still on his feet, wrestling for position. 5, 4, 3, 2 meters short now.
Advantage offside, number 8.
Oh, an advantage coming here for Cardiff Met as well. Best opportunity of the game with the advantage coming. Jake Thomas holding the whip, but they're not going to get there. James Roberts, the guilty party, giving away the penalty. Now, scrum or line now, what do you do here?
I think Cardiff Met will probably back themselves to go to the corner here. I know they've got a well-drilled set piece, although they missed the last line out. I think they'll look to back there more. Great first phase move to get down the edge. You know, Roma Zheng is dangerous with a bit of space in front of him. That was exciting to see, but great scramble D from Cardiff Uni.
Those meters after contact are impressive as well, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's, you know, when you get that go forward, you get that momentum. Just buys time for your support to come.
Olding finds Barney Langton, and the maul goes to work. Tyler Olding there at the back, peeling up the short side. Still Olding.
Release Red, all of
but
you.
He stops short. Verbikas makes a good tackle. Now the big men go to work, scrambling towards the line, over the line, but the double movement.
That's the warning.
Oh, Jake Bond.
Oh, we got a TMO.
Double movement, he's crawling.
I think that's a difficult call there. I think whilst he might have had one elbow down, I think he still has an opportunity to actually stretch and make a try score in action. Again, we'll probably have to look at that one at half-time, Dave.
It remains Cardiff University 0, Cardiff Met 3. We're halfway through the first half. In terms of the arm wrestle, though, Cardiff Met just edged ahead. Had a bit more territory.
Yeah, definitely. They've won the territory battle the last sort of 10 minutes, haven't they? And it's probably mainly down to the Cardiff Uni errors in around the opposition's final third.
Use it now! Use it! Use it!
Away Cardiff Uni go up the blind side. It's inaccurate again, and it's back with Cardiff Met. Cardiff Uni, their own worst enemy at the moment. Now Zheng off his wing. Again, galloping into red bodies. Loves the contact zone. There's the light-footed Roderick Evans, brought down by the bootstraps by Ed Dunford. Olding. Oh, finds a gap, Olding, but Pollock makes a good tackle on him. Up the short side it goes to Thomas. He steps inside. Can't get the ball away to Brad Morgan. Rory Morgan. Roderick Evans. Out of the back it goes to Chuetti. Scrappy, but Jake Bond picks it up. Knock on, apparently.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure that went forward, but you know, credit to Cardiff Uni to come back and scramble to force some pressure on the ball carrier there.
This defending they're doing, though, it's energy sapping, isn't it? When when you get involved in a tussle like this, a game that's probably going to go deep in terms of the score until the last minute, eventually your lungs are just going to give out.
No, you're right. You know, they've probably been victims of some of their, well, they have been victims of their errors in attack that's led them now to probably be defending for large parts of this first half. And that sort of comes 60, 65, 70 minutes. You know, it's whether they have still got it in their bodies to be able to go and, you know, keep with the effort. Because I know Cardiff Met have got some strength on the bench. So I think Cardiff Uni have got to look at getting a little bit of territory sort of next 10 minutes. Try and get some points on the board.
Well, we know there will come a time in this game where the pendulum does swing to Cardiff University. It's just whether or not they're able to take advantage of the opportunities. But I think by their own admission, they've been scrappy at the moment, despite this brilliant crowd, this vocal crowd behind them. The atmosphere here, absolutely sensational. Worthy of the occasion.
Take him back.
Can the team deliver? Now Dunford wants to run the ball. Suggestion of a forward pass. Referee happy enough to let play continue, though. And here's Di Jones.
Tackle!
Barney Langton trying to keep the man upright. Suggestion of some afters there. Now Jones boxes. More confident take that time by Ethan Morgan. He takes on Tim Moon, though, and Moon sniffing around the turnover and getting the turnover. Good work from the open side.
Yeah, definitely. I think Cardiff Uni played to their strengths and how they started sort of first 10 minutes. Kicked well, chased well, and just got over the ball there. And to be fair to him, that's a great turnover.
Came off the bench for his debut against Leeds Beckett. And having played a lot of second-team rugby, he's earned the right to play, and he's earned his team the right to attack from the 22 here, Tim Moon.
I think this could be the first entry into the point zone for Cardiff Uni. 25 minutes in.
Come on, boys, in.
Just a reminder to everyone watching at home, if you're watching your first BSR game, so we get a really good look at Ben Chapman there. He is a good-looking boy, but his darts have been shocking in the first 25 minutes. Our clock is not directly linked in with the referee's watch, so we're pretty accurate, but we might be 30 seconds or a minute out. So if it is tight at 80 minutes, which it might well be, don't get too excited, because there might be a little bit of meat left on the bone. As Cardiff Uni have it just inside the Met half here. Oh, good chase, good hit.
Release.
Now Di Jones, here is Chapman, tips it on. Trying to create that space that doesn't quite exist at the moment. Bavekwa out of the back, Dunford keeps it moving, now Pollock. Oh, he's got great feet, Luke Pollock, and he finds Rydian Williams. Williams brought down by Jake Thomas. They miss out Bavekwa this time, and Adam Williams.
I think that's a turnover on Joe Cowles on that ball. Is it Joe Cowell?
Yeah. And now Met kicking it away. Where's this going to bounce? The 50-22's on. Brilliant kick. Brilliant kick, and it'll be Cardiff Met ball.
50-22.
Again, Cardiff Uni turnover ball in the opposition's half from first phase. Won't be happy with a double negative. So 2 turnovers, find themselves back now defending a line out in their own 22. So credit to Cardiff Met's defence there. But yeah, Cardiff Uni missing some opportunities.
Players making good decisions as well. Putting boot to ball, realising there was space, realising the 50-22 was on. And here comes the maul. Tyler Olding with that ball at the back. Same maul, moving forward. This looking good for Cardiff Met, edging closer. Matt Yonath Scott takes it on. Now Ewan Guy wants to get his hands on it, so does Brandon Harvey. They're queuing up to score this try, Cardiff Met. And over they go. They're going to celebrate, Cardiff Met are going to celebrate. All of that has come from a Cardiff Uni mistake in the middle of the park. And finally, Cardiff Met find some precision in the 22.
2 minutes ago, they were defending a line out in their own 22. But credit to Cardiff Met, they've got a strong pack and they've got a strong ball game, so I know Ian Gardner will be very happy with that.
And it was Jake Bond who got the final touch, and it was him who went over with a double movement as well, so a bit of poetic justice for him, getting the first try of the day. Cardiff 0, Cardiff Met 8. And here's Brad Roderick Evans, easiest kick of the night for him so far. Oh, he's missed it. He has missed it. Well, that is 5 points he's left out there already. And that is what could loosely be described as uncharacteristic. Let's take another look at this try here. What's gone well?
Oh, you're asking him back now to commentate on a driving ball. But no, to be fair, they set quicker than Cardiff Uni. Got their height down, and to be fair, they've used their weight. There's not a huge amount of technical stuff in there, but if you're generally winning the race to get set, that's what I've learned, and you're lower, then you're going to be in a strong position.
And the transition of the ball here as well. Just Jake Bond being smart in behind the big man, Brandon Harvey. Another good tackle. Felix Gilbert loses that collision, but here's Dunford. He can make magic happen, and he's looking for a 50-22 of his own. He's not going to get the bounce he wants, though, and Roma Zheng's going to run it back. But he's going to get tackled. It's up to Cardiff Met to exit once again.
Use it! Take him back. No.
BUCS. Oh, some of these Cardiff Met shots are absolutely brutal. Bavekwa. And he gets over the gain line, but he's taken it deep, so Cardiff pretty much just back where they started. There's Ramage.
I think Cardiff Met are pretty happy kicking that ball long and back in that kick chase is what it's looking like at the moment, and then forcing Cardiff Uni just to kick the ball back.
Ethan Morgan, cultured left boot. Oh, we like a spiral, don't we?
Love a spiral. Difficult skill. Very difficult skill.
Stop, Red. Don't move.
Are you teaching them in your kicking sessions these days? If not, why not?
I am, but it's a difficult skill and you've got to have a lot of time to do it. So a lot of people will kick end over end just because it's more accurate, less room for error.
But also a lot less fun. So rugby's supposed to be a game to put smiles on faces. That's another kick to compete. Who's that gone forward off? No one. But it's back with Cardiff Uni here, right in the middle of the park where they spent so much time. Again, they could get to an edge, but it goes into a forward's hands and it's tunnel vision from the ball carrier. If there's somebody looking left there, then Rydian Williams on the left wing.
This ball's been in play for quite some time now, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out over the next couple of phases.
Here's Bavekwa taking it at speed. Another Met penalty.
If you can't make a legal clear out, don't make one. Run the net.
I think that's Cardiff Uni's best passage of play with ball in hand. They've got through some phases and up the tempo, hit gain line consecutive times, look pretty dangerous.
As you mentioned, when I asked you to talk about the maul, you're a back. Our commentary position is pretty much on the halfway line, same as the camera that people are watching, but of course we can see the whole pitch. When you're here looking at Rydian Williams in acres of space on the edge, you must just be thinking, please Cardiff, get the ball left.
Yeah, I think credit though to Cardiff Met at the moment. They're just setting quicker defensively, although they haven't got a load of width. Cardiff Uni at this moment in time aren't pulling width off a kick counter, so whilst they do have one or two guys there, they're missing the connect to be able to get the ball to those positions. But Cardiff Met are getting narrow on kick chase. Definitely be something I'd be saying at half-time that Cardiff Uni can look to exploit coming in after half-time.
Well, they've got another opportunity to kick for touch here, Cardiff Met, and get that strong set piece going again. It was the strong set piece that led to the only try of the game so far. Driving maul that Jake Bond went over from. I don't think it's going to be a maul that takes them over from 40 metres, no matter how much Ian Gardner would like it to be.
Gardner would be very happy if that was the case. That'll be interesting what they do. Do they go for another maul and look to get another advantage, get another penalty, kick to the corner again, or they look to move it a little bit wider? Obviously got to win the line-out first. It's funny how Roma Zeng was stood out at first receiver out in midfield then, so it looked like they were going to run some sort of play off of it.
Jake Bond was absolutely furious about something there. Fourth start of the season, should I say, at 6 for him. Began the season at 8. Interestingly, Bertie Taylor was at 6 last week. He's at 8 today. Just moving them around the back row. Look at this, full stands at Cardiff Arms Park watching these boys play. Really is an occasion. Merry Christmas, everyone. Full stand over there.
Looking forward to seeing the strike play here. They last.
Look at those two good-looking boys in commentary there. Hey?
Very cold.
Very cold indeed. So here's the scrum. Cardiff Uni looking to put the shove on, but Cardiff Met counteract it. Now it comes out of the back. Little gap here for Brad Roderick Evans, who gets the offload away to Rory Morgan. Into the 22 they go. Roma Zheng stepping away, drives towards the line. Sensational score from Roma Zheng. He is unstoppable from short range, and he scores another Cardiff Clash classic.
I think it's great from Cardiff Met. They sent numbers to the defensive line, asked some questions at Cardiff Uni first phase again, and Brad Roderick just went through on the inside. I'm not sure who the gap that he got in between, but great pickup from Roma Zheng then next phase, and yeah, what a great finish.
Speed of ball for Cardiff Met then, wasn't it?
Cardiff Uni didn't have a chance to get set, and credit to Roma Zheng to be able to pick that ball up and carry through and finish like he did. Talked about a leg drive earlier. You know, he's pretty strong in that position.
That one converted. Brad Roderick Evans adding the extras this time. Cardiff Uni 0, Cardiff Met 15.
Yeah. I said, you see what happened with the 57 after? We just grab it. 3.
Let's take another look at this here. It was literally just all opened up, didn't it? And he's so powerful. If you don't make the tackle straight away against him, he'll just drag you along with him.
Yeah, I think when he gets momentum, it's gonna be tough to bring him down. So, you've got to stop him at source.
4 defenders he's beaten there. 2 tries for Cardiff Met. 5 points off the boot of Brad Roderick Evans. Bearing in mind he's missed a conversion and a penalty as well, so this could be 20 for Cardiff Met. And Cardiff Uni, with respect, 35 minutes in, yet to fire a shot.
Yeah, like we said earlier, they haven't won the territory battle, and they've just been a little bit inaccurate in terms of their set piece. So they've not had sort of first phase ball, or they've had limited first phase ball to go and actually make something of it.
That was James Roberts taking them up to the 10 again. They lose a couple of metres. Dunford. And Cardiff Met just usher Cardiff towards the touchline.
Never through the horizontal.
It's Greg Ramage, but there's only so much he can do on his own. Dunford, a couple of options outside him, but he goes inside. Lovely, out of the back door. Di Jones is there. That was Chapman with the good hands.
Ball was 1. That's why I played on.
Ethan Phillips, he goes infield. That was Rory Morgan throwing himself around his bootstraps. Here's Roberts again, chopped down low.
Whoa. They move.
No, that's poor from Cardiff Met. They were well in control then defensively. Cardiff Uni lost all of their width and were actually had all of their whole 15 pretty much within one half of the pitch.
4 minutes, mate, yeah? 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think Danny Milton will be pretty disappointed with that.
What are your thoughts on where the Cardiff University ball carriers, particularly the forwards, are taking the ball? Taking it 5, 6, 7 metres behind the gain line and making it really difficult to get any kind of momentum, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I think you're going up against a big pack in and around that space off of the breakdown. Cardiff Met are strong, so it's whether they can move the point of attack and get an attack that seems slightly wider, but they've got to be set to be able to do that. And at the moment, their only option is to go for the pod off the 9 because there's nothing really set up outside.
Chapman finds his man. Chance to fire a shot here for Cardiff University.
Just spun.
And there is Ben Chapman at the back. This more like it for the team in red. A few backs coming in to add some weight as well, and they've got a penalty advantage here, Cardiff University. Feels as though they have to score. So Di Jones finds his man. Big collision. Cam Scott gets going. Great carry from Scott.
He hasn't touched it. He hasn't knocked it on.
Now some space for the second row. Phillips to run into. 2 metres short. Cardiff Uni with a big opportunity. Another opportunity now to put some width on it. Dunford out one more. Cardiff Met hanging on. Ethan Phillips. Great finish from the second row. Cardiff off the mark, back in the game, and they really needed that.
I think they were patient in their build-up. We just talked about them running into probably the strength that is Cardiff Met's defence close to the breakdown. If you have a look, as they broke out that maul, a couple of phases, they hit the wide runner. I think it was actually the try scorer that they made the initial sort of half break underneath the post. A couple of phases later, he was on hand again, just hitting that hole slightly wider, and they're getting a bit of success there.
Well, when you're chasing the game, you need your big players to stand up and be counted. Ethan Phillips has started every round this season. He's carried a lot of ball, made a lot of tackles. And for a big man in the wide channels, he had a little bit of work to do here for this finish. Still had defenders to beat. But they had to score, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that's their second entry into the opposition's, into Cardiff Met's 22. Obviously, first time they erred, second time they come away with points. I think that if they can be a little bit more accurate, then they might cause a couple of problems, Cardiff Met.
Oh, Dunford's hit the post, and we're talking millimetres there. It's hit the inside of the post and it stayed out, but just before half-time, something for Cardiff to cling on to.
Yeah, absolutely. First time they've had territory properly. So I think that'll be the message that probably Chris Davis and Alan Flowers will be talking about at half-time. You know, if they are accurate, get some territory and look what we can do when we look after the ball.
Ethan Morgan gets us back underway. And Cardiff Met good with the kick chase, but the try scorer Phillips gathers it. And Cardiff Uni look after the ball here and see us through to half-time.
Well, it's a long 5 seconds.
Yeah.
We're going to play it out.
Here's Bavakwa. Going to work it up the narrow side. So Roberts, he's got Chapman there, and he's got Phillips there as well. So the referee counting down. That'll take us through to half-time. Into touch from Dunford. And the referee's whistle goes. Well, a fascinating half. The Cardiff Met have been in the ascendancy for most of. But look at the urgency to get into the sheds from Cardiff University. They trailed by 15, but just before half-time, Ethan Phillips has given them a lifeline. And with 40 minutes to go, it's Cardiff University 5, Cardiff Met 15. Scott Snedden, your thoughts?
I think that try just before half-time sets us up for a great second half. I think it was important that Cardiff Uni came away with some points there, because they haven't been accurate for the first 37, 38 minutes and put themselves under pressure. So yeah, it's a good first half. It's been pretty scrappy at times. What Cardiff Met have done is if they've taken their opportunities and they've looked after the ball in Cardiff Uni's half, whereas the other way around, Cardiff Uni have just been a little bit inaccurate.
Well, there's 10 points between the two teams. I mean, I know kicks are far from a given, but Cardiff Uni have left 2 out there. Cardiff Met have left 5 points out there, and they could be valuable points.
Absolutely. You know how close these games have been in the past, and it comes down to sort of maybe a last-minute kick or a last-minute try. So I think both kickers will probably be maybe a little bit frustrated by the misses, especially probably Brad, given the two that he's missed would probably be ones that he would normally be confident in nailing. So if it goes like anything in terms of previous games, then it could come down to one of those kicks in the last couple of minutes.
Well, stick with us to wait and see. Let's have a look at some of the best bits from the first half then. 3 tries for us to have a look at. I'm not going to ask you for the minute detail of this, but it was well executed from Cardiff Met, and with the play being as scrappy as it had been, with teams really struggling to get the back lines firing, it felt like it might have to have been a try like this to get us underway tonight.
Yeah, and I think, as I said earlier, Cardiff Met have got a good drive in more, so it's not surprising that they've got over the line. They are a big side. That takes a lot out of the defensive legs for that Cardiff Uni pack. So, is that hard work in that maul taken out of their legs for the last sort of 10 minutes? Where Cardiff Met scored that first phase or second phase try. I guess time will tell when we get into the second half.
Also, it feels like a slow death for the defending team, doesn't it? Because it's coming. It's just a case of when. You just hope that there's some kind of infringement or something that stops it, but it was just inevitable from Cardiff Met, and that all came from that brilliant 50-22, remember. But then this was probably the pick of the tries so far. Oh, it was inside the centre. Luke Pollock, who is so defensively sound for Cardiff University, but it was him that opened the door for Brad Rodd.
Yeah, it's quite surprising. He doesn't make many defensive errors like we spoke about earlier, and Cardiff Met, they sent numbers to the line to ask some questions, but actually that was pretty poor defensively from Cardiff Uni. But what you've got to give credit to is Ronan Zem. That's a great pickup, to beat 4 defenders like you said earlier.
That's a player who's full of confidence, isn't it? Because a lot of people would get that ball in that position, they'd be looking left and right, where's the pass? But he's got one thing in his mind, and that's get to the try line.
I think he knows one of his strengths is ball carry, so for him getting his hands on the ball, he's going to score tries if he backs himself all the time like that.
And this was Cardiff University. Again, we talked about the mistakes Cardiff Uni had made to allow Cardiff Met field position. Cardiff University were here because of a mistake Cardiff Met made when they were fully in control.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also talked about, Cardiff Uni not winning that wrestle. You look here, they hit slightly wider, just in a wider seam defensively, and the speed of ball is a lot quicker than what they've been getting. Gives them the ability just to move that ball wide.
Yeah, it was Rydian Williams off his wing there. He's looked lively, he's not had many opportunities, but looks like a confident ball carrier. And then Ethan Phillips crashing over. I tell you what, just about, there wasn't a lot of the ball on the line there, was there?
Yeah, it's a good job there's not a TMO.
Well, plenty to talk about there. I hope you've got the central heating on at home or wherever you're watching around the world. Brilliant to have your company. Scott and I are going to go and take a bite of our coffee that's frozen into a lollipop now. We'll be back for the second half where it's Cardiff University 5, Cardiff Met 15. Here they come, Cardiff University out of the tunnel and ready to go. They did not have a lot to cheer about in the first half, but Scott Snedden, that didn't stop their fans from giving it serious licks.
No, there were some great tunes going on there, to be fair, some great singing, and they're very buoyant, and I think their voices counted in the last 5 minutes of the first half when Cardiff Uni got over.
Interesting, isn't it? Because Cardiff Met were largely in control of that first half, but it had probably been a little bit disappointed going in at half-time.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, as we've spoken about just a minute ago, I think Cardiff Met came out on top in terms of the physical battle there, but probably didn't make the most in terms of their physical dominance in that first 40. So it'll be interesting to see how they attack this second half.
Ed Dunford gets us underway in the second half. Cardiff University 5, Cardiff Met 15. It's the second Cardiff Clash of the year. Met, we keep talking about bragging rights, but it's no longer bragging rights, it is points on the board. This is a genuine contest, and every point counts. We've already seen today Loughborough University, or Loughborough students should I say, picking up a try bonus that's kept them at the top of BUCS Super Rugby. And you know you're not going to win every week, so if you can pick up losing bonus points, try bonus points, they can make a massive difference.
Absolutely, I think we talked about that at Loughborough last year. We went to a couple of places and we didn't pick up points. We played Bath away, Loughborough, sorry, played Bath away earlier on and picked up 2 points, whereas last year picked up nothing. So you try bonus points, you know, both sides, whether you're winning or losing, they're important to pick up.
Good impetus here from Cardiff early on in the second half, going through
Leave
the
it,
phases.
leave it! You're wrapped on the player. Leave it, you're on the player, not the ball.
Ed Dunford stood on the short side. Just trying to wrap around and hit that gain line.
Now you're on side.
Now where is the kick chase?
Stop.
It's going to stay in field, so a chance to run at broken play here for Cardiff Met, should they decide to. Roma Zheng catches that with a long barrier. Now Chuetti. Oh, that could have gone one more, you know. Brad Roderick Evans licking his lips, but that's a nudge over the top from Morgan. Another smart kick from the scrum half.
Cardiff ball, red ball.
That's great. That's a great kick. You know, forward should be going over and patting him on the back. You know, that's one of those things in terms of momentum. First minute into the second half, or first 2 minutes into the second half, and you find yourself on the opposition's 5 metre line.
He's kicked really well because it was his 50-22, wasn't it? Just quick thinking, spots the space. Oh, and they put a man up as well, Cardiff Met, but Chapman keeps his nerve.
He's cleaned him out, fine. Use it, ball's available.
Tadai Jones to do the same. Kicked that towards Roma Zheng. They kept it on the pitch here, Cardiff Uni. Not sure if that was the plan or not. Here is Roma, gets around the first, the second and the third tackles. Fourth, fifth and sixth as well. Roma Zheng into the 22. Just taking defenders out of the game. Now Joe Cowell throws a dummy and goes over a would-be tackler. Cardiff Met up the short side again. It's not quick ball here. So Morgan in at scrum half. Barney Langton with another heavy carry. Brad Roderick Evans. This ball out of the back now for Zheng. Chance to go around the outside, but steps in instead. Jake Thomas clearing out. Bertie Taylor. That's Brad Morgan. Oh, a little tip and a good tackle by Cardiff Uni. Doing well to slow the ball down. Brad Roderick Evans, lovely inside ball. Jake Thomas goes in untouched. What a start to the second half.
I think that's great patience from Cardiff Met. Roma Zheng picking up that ball. Some great footwork. But I think Cardiff Uni would probably be a little bit disappointed defensively there. Just poor kick chase just to let them in. But credit again to Cardiff Met, patience, just numbers at the line, and a great inside ball and a great finish.
Well, Jake Thomas, one of the players for Cardiff Met who started every round And when you're able to do that in a back line, Ethan Morgan as well, he's settled, as is Roma Zheng. You build up those understandings. And it was an inside ball and a lovely line, and Cardiff just didn't lay a glove on him.
No, it was great acceleration through the gap and just great ability to beat the full back as well. So they'll be happy with the way they've started this second half. They've, won those collisions, won the game, the territory game. So this goes over, and it's going to make it a very difficult scoreline for Cardiff Uni to come back from.
Greg Ramage is mopping up a bloody nose there as well. We hope that he can continue. Great player. Great servant to Cardiff Uni as well. And of course Hong Kong too. There's Brad Roderick Evans for 2 more points, which he adds, and it's Cardiff 5, Cardiff Met 22.
I don't think Cardiff Uni would want to be losing Greg Ramage at this moment in time. He's been a warrior for them. He's carried really hard. He's been physical. He's definitely carrying that team around at the moment, especially in that forward pack.
Let's take a look at this inside pass then.
Break the habit tonight.
That was a lovely inside ball, but again it was a Cardiff University defender just rushing out of the line. Let's see if from this angle we can see who it is. Oh, would you believe it? Luke Pollock again.
I think they were just stretched and he's just gone a little bit lateral. Inside man hasn't gone with him. It's a great exit from Cardiff Met.
It's Rory Morgan who boots it clear. Got plenty of time before we do. 45 minutes gone, about 75, 76 minutes. Scott, you're going to be in charge of the man of the match. Don't want you to tell me who it is straight away. I want you to tease me with it. Players from both teams, really set it up.
So I think just mentioned one, Greg Ramage, in terms of his physicality around the park. So him from that Cardiff Uni group at the moment has done well. That's a great kick from Ed Dunford. He's been a bit hot and cold, but that is a great strike. And then I guess from the Cardiff Met side, 9, Rory Morgan. He's put in some great kicks, but he's also been a little bit of a threat around the base. And Roma Zheng has, once he's had ball in his hands, he's looked pretty lively. So it's a few guys there. I'm not going to name the rest.
He's a creator of chaos, Roma Zheng, isn't he? I tell you what, that's an overthrown lineup, but the Cardiff Uni fans have started to bang on our commentary box. It's made our scaffolding, and I feel as though we're going to have to put some kind of climbing equipment on, because it feels like it's about to collapse. The atmosphere here still unbelievable as Dunford gets it to Pollock, and now there's Gilbert, Zheng and Chuetti called into defensive action. Now Di Jones, it's slow ball but great field position here for Cardiff Uni as they go in search of try number 2.
They've obviously talked to half-town about him.
Oh, lovely ball! It's tipped on by that man Phillips. And then finished by Ben Chapman. Cardiff Uni strikes straight back. They still trail, but they're back in the game.
Similar style to their try in the first half, where they've just hit slightly wider around that Cardiff Met defence, and 2 breakdowns in a row gone there, and got success off the back of it. Lovely little tip to put him through.
Great to see tight forwards with those tips as well. It was Ethan Phillips on to Ben Chapman, a second row to a hooker. What do you reckon? Best looking hooker in Super Rugby, right?
Yeah, he's probably up there.
Yeah. Although to be fair, it's a pretty shallow pool.
Joe Plunkett and Nathan Langdon won't be happy with that.
He hasn't moved. He hasn't moved.
Dunford's added the extras. Again, good patience here from Cardiff University, taking advantage of good field position. Watch out for Ethan Phillips there, the man in the blue scrum cap, just keen for the ball in at first receiver, and a lovely line from Chapman. There is Phillips galloping forward again, straight from the restart. Oh, up the blind side goes Pollock. tucks the ball and gets around the defender. Luke Pollock puts it on the toe. I don't think he's going to beat Roma Zheng for pace though. And the Met winger dots it down. Great foot race.
We talked about him pre-game, I think, being very dangerous, and that's twice now. He's put the full back into space just in the lead up to the previous try, and great ability to be a man on the outside, and I think that's the right decision to go and put more pressure now on Cardiff Met.
Well, that's probably the one player on the pitch he's not going to beat for pace, but one awkward bounce there, and it's try time.
8, while we're on stop, it's going to be the blood sorted. I said, whilst you're on stop, get that blood sorted, yeah? Oh, she's agreed.
Well, you know, I said that Ed Dunford should probably keep the moustache. What do you think of that one?
It's not the best. I'd probably be shaving that off.
Yes, yes.
The score is correct, yes.
Well, the referee saying the score is correct. It is Cardiff University 12, Cardiff Met 22. It was 10 points at half time, and it's 10 points now.
Anyway.
Jake Thomas and Ben Chapman adding 5 pointers.
All done.
With Brad Roderick Evans and Ed Dunford adding the extras. There's David Chuetti at 13 today. Played the last few games at 12. Of course, Brad Morgan and Chuetti in today. No Joe Westwood or Bingo Ivanisevic. Roberts.
Turnover's good, but he's knocked it on. Turnover's good, knocked it on.
We'll nudge him behind. I tell you what, that's a great take from Barney Langton.
8, I think it was. Turned the ball over, but he knocked it on, yeah.
First scrum of the second half. Still no changes in the front row.
It's a great opportunity to attack from here with for Cardiff Uni. Be interesting to see how they set up.
So at the moment they've got Chuetti and Roma Zheng to the left of the scrum. They've got Roderick Evans, Brad Morgan and Jake Thomas on the right, and then Ethan Morgan sat deep in behind defensively. And Cardiff Uni have gone 3 and 3. So well, we're not going to find out because it's penalty time now. Posts or corner?
They've got a bit of momentum. The line-out's been a bit hit and miss, so for me I'd probably be looking at taking the 3, get within 1 score.
Captain? Post score. Marks it.
That is exactly what they're going to do. And should this be successful by Dunford, this will be, well, as close as they've been, because remember, Cardiff Met went 15-0 to the good.
I'd be angry if you said that as well. I'll do. Come on. Can you boys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, ref.
Did you call me? Oh.
Ed Dunford successful with the second conversion, very close with the first, inside of the post and stayed out. This one from a similar position to the one that Brad Roderick Evans missed after 90 seconds of the first half, to bring Cardiff University within a converted try. Oh, it's good, it's clean, and it's Cardiff 15, Cardiff Met 22.
That's what I told him. Say something again, I'll blow it. We've all got that ball.
Half an hour to go, game on.
Absolutely, I think without saying it and being really cliche, the next score is really crucial.
Oh, it's massive. Your first co-commentary with us, Scott, your first co-commentary cliche. Great response from Cardiff Met. Their kick chase has been brilliant.
He played it again. Or 14, sorry.
Now corner or posts.
I think they'll be looking to go to the corner after that maul in the first half. You know, they should be looking to back themselves, but that's criminal from Cardiff Uni. They know that Cardiff Met will look at coming attacking those breakdowns, and you know, you've got to exit after scoring. So important nowadays.
They've been masters of their own downfall a couple of times, haven't they, Cardiff University? And they could be in trouble again here. Tyler Olding.
Nine.
Patiently waits for the ball. He patiently waits for his forward pack as well. They're not in a rush to get to the line out, are they? There's been a change. Benji Williams has come on wearing number 20. And they've gone straight to him as well. Great take with one hand. They've gone to the back. They get going. And that is so simple.
Held up.
Oh, they've held it up. How on earth have Cardiff University got under the man? That is Ben Chapman with a try-saver.
Held up.
I don't know how they have not scored that. A great set, great line-out drill.
Behind the ball, boys.
But I think he's just been a little bit impatient there. If they've stayed in that more for a little bit longer, that's going over.
Yeah, Bertie Taylor, he's broken away, he's gone himself, and Ben Chapman, well, without wanting to put too fine a point in it, has kept his team in the game.
Starting to worry about you and Ben Chapman, Dave, but you're right. You know, they score there, Cardiff Met, and you know, they're away.
Well, he's been bumped off by Roma Zheng there, but I think it's unrequited, Scott, alas. That's a first carry for Benji Williams.
Don't block,
now Brad Morgan. Oh, the ball over the top's a good one for Jake Thomas. He steps around the first defender.
Tackle! Release!
He scored the try to get us underway in the second half, remember. Roderick Evans, options to his left. Barney Langton takes it from him. Ethan Morgan. Roma Zheng looks inside. That's met by Ben Chapman, who makes a better tackle this time. It's Connor Chapman, so there's been a change at hooker, Olding off, Chapman on. It's Barney Langton. Been in the game a bit more in the last couple of minutes. Morgan. It's Roderick Evans at second receiver. Those twinkle toes don't get him anywhere. James Roberts, the number 8, makes a brilliant turnover.
Isolated, holding on.
That is a great defensive set from Cardiff Uni there.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, they filled the field. Cardiff Met trying to get
make something up, but I didn't
bit of
see
momentum on the edges. But to be fair to Cardiff Uni, scrambled well, got off the line, and a great hunt from the inside there.
15 minutes of the second half gone. Cardiff University, despite their inconsistency, have edged their way back into this game. And they'll be kicking themselves, won't they? Because they're within a score, but the amount of times they just gifted Cardiff Met field position.
Absolutely, that first half they had plenty of opportunities, so we'll see how accurate their set pieces at the moment. Hopefully if they can nail this one, they can start getting into the point zone of Cardiff Met.
Well, they do. Good clean ball to the middle, and they bring it out quickly. Di Jones bringing Cam Scott into the game. Good gain line carry from the inside centre. Pollock's in behind him. Dunford. Felix Gilbert goes inside, then outside, and takes Cardiff up to the 22.
It's a tough one, that is, Dave, rolling on the edge. I think it's a difficult one for the referees, but if you've got momentum there, I don't think he's really stopping that guy coming in from the jackal. I think that's just from the momentum within the tackle. So tough, but again, not accurate.
On the 10.
Not forcing pressure on Cardiff Met, gives them an opportunity to get out.
On the 10, yeah.
And from Cardiff's perspective, it's so frustrating because the try they scored with Ben Chapman, they showed that when they can go through the phases in the 22, they can play good rugby.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's twice when they've got into the 22, they've come away with some points, but they've just not got in there enough.
Outside the 15.
Well, I saw a 16 on, which is Connor Chapman, but Tyler Olding is still on the pitch. So in fact, it's Elliot Salt who's come on wearing 18. So they've changed the props here.
Absolutely fine. That's fair, isn't it? No, he's not offside. He's just taking the 9 out late after kicking. Ball's landed here. There's no need for that. The ball had gone.
Again, another easy out for Cardiff Met. That's 2 penalties from within their own half, and Cardiff Uni now might find themselves back in their own 22 just through some poor discipline.
just a shade outside off the left boot of Ethan Morgan. So yeah, let's do a quick recap of the forwards for Cardiff Met then. So Joe Cowell's still on, as is Tyler Olding, but Elliot Salt has come on the tight head side, and Benji Williams has come into the back row. So Jake Bond is off. They've gone to the back again. There was a little fingertip on that from Cardiff, and now they can counter-attack through Pollock, who thinks he's seen a gap. Gets the ball away to Cam Scott. He's fumbled it, but he's fumbled it backwards. Oh, the inside ball, no doubt about that knock-on. Cardiff maybe trying a little bit too hard.
15's in a good position, we'll play the knock-on. Yeah, mate, yeah. Yeah.
Looks like Luke Pollock might be down injured far side.
Time off.
Cardiff Uni won't want to lose him in this game. But again, Cardiff Uni being a little bit inaccurate, forcing turnovers in their own half, which don't actually need to be doing. They need territory in this for the next 10 minutes.
20 left. Yep.
20 left, confirmed by the referee.
No, I know. I had looked.
And like this fixture has been so often over the last few episodes, it is in the balance.
What I was asking.
Just a reminder of something you already know: 2 points separate these teams.
Yeah, I think so, but they hadn't moved
over the last 4 rounds. 3 regular season games and that one incredible playoff game. Where Cardiff Uni looked home and hosed at King Coyd, only for Cardiff Met to reel them in.
There's plenty more rugby still in this game.
Yes.
I tried to make them. Sorry.
So Pollock back on his feet, so no changes for Cardiff Uni yet.
I wouldn't do that.
They've not got a lot of experience on the bench, Cardiff Uni. Michael Davis, the replacement scrum half, coming back in. For the likes of Tom Kilmartin, Max Ashton, Seth Butler, Toby Peach. Their boys who've earned the right by playing well in the second team, but they're missing players like Glenn Evans and Tom Capel away with Wales 20s, and George Shaw, Ben Roberts, Luke Bray, Billy Moxley, Lewis Williams, Oscar DeVenter, all missing.
Tackle! Release!
Various levels of injuries, but it is that time of year you really have to stretch the squad.
Yes, Greg.
Jake Thomas. Cowell tips on Brad Roderick Evans. Thinks he's seen some space in behind. And Cardiff Met just playing some more sensible territorial rugby.
Yeah, I think that's something I've seen Cardiff Met do quite a few times in terms of go and hit middle, and they'll use that switch play in midfield. I think they've scored a couple of tries off of it. They obviously realised there that they weren't getting any momentum on their carries, and Brad Roderick's just gone and put it into the corner. I think probably Cardiff Uni could probably be a little bit switched on to that a little bit sooner. No, there's no real threat coming from that edge.
Out.
We're into the final quarter.
Use it, 9!
Di Jones boxes that up to halfway. It's a good chase by Dumford.
Offside. Offside. No. Never got track on side.
Poor discipline again, Dave. So I think they'll find themselves now back in their own 22, and I think that's 3 or 4 penalties now in the last 5 minutes, and they just can't get out of their own half.
Injury?
The exit from either side has been a big differential in this game, hasn't it?
Oh, it's all right.
I just think you look at Cardiff Uni's exit there. Great setup, like good kick, great chase, and you don't need then to go and force too much pressure in terms of your poor discipline. They were in control there because they had their defensive line set, but Cardiff Uni have gone to their run exit a little bit too much, and they've been inaccurate and then forced knock-ons when they haven't needed to. And then Cardiff Met. Scrum half Rory Morgan, forgot his name, he's exited well, and they've been really efficient in that area, so it's such an important part of the game nowadays. You exit well, you're unlikely to concede points.
That's a brilliant kick.
Cardiff on the
I'd
line.
be very happy with our kickers doing that.
On the line.
As the kicking coach.
Right, you can come up to the line.
Absolutely. You just, putting that ball 5 metres from the opposition try line, it is difficult, but it gives you a hell of a boost when you do get there.
Massive moment in the game this. Cardiff Met have already fluffed their lines once.
Make sure you're on the line, yeah? Not in
Bertie
front.
Taylor was a bit too keen and Ben Chapman held him up. Tyler Olding finds Barney Langton. They go to work again. They make it look so easy here, Cardiff Met. They're within a metre, they're over the line. It's grounded, it's a bonus point, and Cardiff Met are back in control. Tyler Olding touches down, the Ultras rejoice.
I think Cardiff Uni are very lucky there. I think if they hadn't have scored the try there, that could have been a penalty try, and they could have had somebody going into the bin at this moment in time. But great set, good height from Cardiff Met, and yeah, they were just too quick across the floor for Cardiff Uni to react.
Tyler Olding does get his try with that. Him and Joe Cowell make their way to the touchline. Their race is a run, and that's not a bad way to end your day, is it?
63 minutes. Couple of more tries. I think they'll be very pleased with their performance.
So they'll be replaced by Connor Chapman and Ben Murphy. Ben Murphy, really industrious loose head. Expect 20 minutes of hard graft from him. Connor Chapman started in the wins against Nottingham, Hartbury and Durham. Brad Roderick Evans. Oh, he's missed that one as well. Well, that's interesting because that makes it a 12-point game. So 2 converted scores. Seems a long way off for Cardiff Uni at the moment, given the fact that they're struggling to get out of their own half. But there's a few doing the Poznan over there as well.
I think what we have realised in this game so far, it's not going to take much for Cardiff Uni to score some points. So if they can get a little bit of field position in the next 5 minutes, get some points on the board, it could make for a very interesting last 10.
Here's Dunford, now Pollock. Verbikas on the outside, can't find an edge, shoved in field by Zheng. Cardiff Uni with space on the left edge, but instead they go infield.
Just losing the speed to set at the moment, and not having the attacking options off the back of it. You know, they've only got one option really to carry, but there is a bit of space on the edge.
That's going to dribble through to Ed Dunford. He's going to put that up for Pollock to chase.
16, you're backing into it, no chance.
Here we go.
Obstruction, 16,
also known as a
step
coach
across,
killer.
closed it.
There was no need for that, but again, now poor discipline. Okay, gives the opposition the opportunity to go and get some field position. I don't think that's 5 metres out, but see if Cardiff Uni can have a repeat of the first half. And another entry into the point zone. See, they need to come away with points this time.
Well, what they have got is some ball inside the 22, as you say, the point zone, and they responded well from conceding early in the first half as we get another knock at the door here. Honestly, we're taking our life into our hands as Ethan Phillips gathers that. It's a good counter early on from Cardiff Met, taking Cardiff Uni outside the 22. Now the big men queue up. Bavekwa never needs a second invitation to take a carry. Neither does Ethan Phillips for that matter, but he's met well by Brad Roderick Evans of all people. They miss out Dunford, and that's a good carry. Again up the short side. Dunford offloads over the top. Lovely hands from the outside half. And a good leg drive too. Great field position here for Cardiff University, searching for try number 3. Another good leg drive. 5 metres short. Options both ways. Couldn't quite return the favour. Chapman to Ashton.
Good 16.
Now is there some space on the outside? Oh, it's out of the back door and it's gone forward. One pass too many.
That's the Maverick we spoke about pre-game. You know, you just got to be patient in and around that zone. Forwards have worked really hard to get you there, and you don't want to be throwing out the back door passes one is definitely not on.
No.
Advantage over.
Rory Morgan picks out Felix Gilbert. Now Williams. Another good chase from Cardiff Met to bring Cardiff Uni down on the 10. Chapman. A good handoff from Chapman, who goes out of the back door himself. It's kamikaze stuff from Cardiff. Struggled all half the field position and just coughing the ball up. Will allow Rory Morgan to put that trusty right boot through it and kick Cardiff Met clear.
Yeah.
Gilbert. Good turnover. Brandon Harvey. Roderick Evans, he thought about the kick. It was on out wide if he'd have gone for the kick pass. He's looking for a bounce instead and gathers his own. Puts it on the toe again. He's not going to get there. But Cardiff Met just playing the game. I think Brad Roderick Evans might have tweaked a hamstring on the way through there, which would be a massive loss for Cardiff Met.
Danny Milton might need to have a word with Di Watts there. A couple of lads going down cramping. I'm not sure Di will be overly happy with that. But no, jokes aside, I think we both saw the space far side. I think there was definitely a cross-field kick opportunity. The right winger for Cardiff Met was in acres of space.
He looked over there like it was going, didn't he?
That's fine to ask. Sorry,
I think that would have been a definite try. But you know, he's chased up his own kick, and they forced pressure again to be another 5 metre line out. And wouldn't surprise me if there more goes over again.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, it's been brave defence for the majority of this game from Cardiff University. So often
time's off, boys. Fine.
They have put themselves behind the 8 ball. But if they concede here, this might finally end the gallant effort. Connor Chapman in at hooker now. Again, Cardiff Met just playing the game here, aren't they? They know they've got the scoreboard on their side. They've already got the bonus point in the bag. They're not going to rush this as we approach the last 10 minutes. It's been another change as well. Barnaby Waddell has come on in the second row. He started against Swansea last week.
Wait 2 seconds. Boys, we've had a stop, so we'll have you in to start. Wait, we're not going to mess around. We've had a stop, so we'll have everyone in, and then we'll start from the standard start.
They find the man in the middle. And they go to work. Connor Chapman, the man at the back, wearing 16.
First stop! Inside the 5.
Still going here.
It's all good, it's naturally
that's better from Cardiff University.
Much
better from Cardiff University.
And that's a big moment, Dave. I think, you know, if that goes over, that is definitely game over. You know, if they can get a decent exit here now and get a bit of field position, you know, there is an opportunity to go and get some points and put some pressure back on Cardiff Met.
Well, we've already talked about bonus points, haven't we? And clock's not on their side, scoreboard's not on their side, but if they score another try, they're in losing bonus point territory. And when it's tight, when you're looking for those playoff positions, when you're scrapping for league position, those 1 or 2 points that you can pick up can be absolutely massive.
Crouch!
Still all to play for here.
Bind! Set!
It's a full fresh front row for Cardiff Met, so be interesting to see how the ref deals with this in terms of we've not really had any issues with the scrum time up until now.
Well, interestingly, it's still the same faces on for Cardiff University, even though, I mean, Theo Bavekwa has been excellent today, but they've got Ed Thompson on the bench, the most experienced front row forward in BUCS Super Rugby.
Set!
Well over 50 appearances now, which is astonishing. Cam Scott.
Five
Positive
step.
carry
There we are,
from
good.
him as Pollock jogs back into the back line, but I don't think he's going to get his hands on the ball this time because Di Jones is going to kick it clear as far as Roma Zheng. It's Ethan Morgan. Better chase from Cardiff this time, but a bit of broken play and a very good tackle on Jake Thomas.
They are just ripped, it's fine. I'm going to go straight for that gap.
Referee sounded like me in touch rugby then.
Take him back in, take him back in.
Straight through that gap,
Use it.
don't you worry about it. Rory Morgan.
Notice how you mentioned touch rugby, Dave.
Oh yes, because I've just seen that hit that Barnaby Waddell's put in. I'm not interested in that these days. 10 minutes to go. Cardiff University need a score. Cardiff Met, bonus point already in the bag. They're looking more and more like they're going to add the other 4 as well.
No. Use it.
Jake Thomas takes that and runs into 2 big shoulders, but wins that collision. There's Ben Murphy.
No, not every time, come on. Pick your ones.
Rory Morgan dabs that one over the top. Oh, the charge down. There's always, and it's been fumbled, and Roma Zheng is breathing down the neck, still going. He's knocked it on, but again, it is another situation where Cardiff University have said, here you go, Met, have some ball in the 22.
Yeah, mate.
I think it comes off the back of a couple of good kicks from Rory Morgan as well. You know, he's managed that game, part of the game really well from the start. But good variety. Okay, you never know where the ball's going to bounce on these 4G pitches, and you know, created his own pressure. But yet again, Cardiff Uni, they're a little bit more accurate. You know, they could have this scrum in the opposition 22 rather than find themselves in their own 22.
So that's James Roberts coming off. He's been replaced by Owen Popple.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Playing more rugby this year. Broke his hand last year. Been on the books with Pontypridd.
Didn't have a ball, boys.
Not started this season. They've been a regular off the bench. 7 of the last 8 games. And they've made the change at tight head as well, Cardiff. Alfie Gota coming on. Came off the bench for the first time last week.
Crouch.
The rest of the boys in red have got 7 minutes to try and pull this one out of the fire. Better scrum from Met. And Popple goes from the base. It's a hard game in your own 22, isn't it?
Especially if you're losing collisions.
One man who's done his best today for Cardiff Uni is Greg Ramage as he presents the ball again.
All bounce. Use it.
And Di Jones just hacks it upfield and again decides to keep it in. Ethan Morgan. Good chase from Pollock, but now some space for Roma Zheng. Doesn't do that very often.
This is the opportunity for Cardiff Uni. That was a great kick chase. Luke Pollock brought some heat on the outside, forced them back down the short side. I actually did think that there was an opportunity on this near side for Cardiff Met. Poor defence from Cardiff Uni in terms of biting in. If that ball had stuck, they probably would have been making some momentum down this edge.
We're talking ifs, but if that ball sticks, then they're in a spot to bother it.
Crouch.
However, scrum inside the Cardiff Net half for Cardiff Uni. Di Jones, full width to work with. Another scrum penalty for Cardiff Uni.
Who said from Cardiff Uni just found himself really long there. So fair play to Cardiff Uni. forcing some pressure now.
Well, Danny Milton's just made his way down behind us, so they're on the level above. Still 5 minutes to go, but he's got to get pitch side. Takes him a while to get down the stairs. He's only got little legs. Ben Chapman, it's going to be another lung-busting 80 for him. Oh, it's not straight. Oh, that looked like such a good dart from up here.
Was it inside or outside?
Always a tough one, Dave.
It's just not their day, is it?
Especially when there's been no sort of compete at the back. He's thrown, might have even just gone over the 15. But yeah, again, that's going to be one of those errors that was that's unforced. There's no really compete at the back, so he had to go double tops. But I think that might be 4 lineouts, potentially 5 lineouts in and around that 22 now that they've erred on.
So Cardiff Met ball.
Crouch.
We need to start thinking about player of the match. So next time the ball. In fact, let's have a chat about it now. Who are you runners and riders?
So look, there's definitely a couple of mentions from the Cardiff Uni side. We have a look at Ethan Phillips. I think he's worked hard around the park, and as the game's broken up a little bit more expansive, he's carried really well. I think Ben Chapman around the park's been brilliant. I'm not saying the line-out's all his fault, because it's definitely not just the hooker's fault, but been a little bit inaccurate there. And then Luke Pollock's looked dangerous in attack. I think from net, I think you look at a couple of guys up front. Jake Bonds worked really hard. You know, scrum-wise, up until recently, they've been on top and done really well. In behind, Roma Zeng's, you know, when he's had the ball in his hands and he's kept hold of it, you know, he's looked a real threat. But I will say my man of the match now.
Don't do it now. Next time the ball goes dead, we'll have your man of the match. I've got a feeling I know it might be.
Use it!
He's near the ball.
Rory Morgan puts that and keep it in field, so our quest for man of the match. Oh, goodness me.
No, he was running towards the ball. Your player's got a head injury, so we just stop him.
Di Jones to stay down with a head injury, fingers crossed. It is a glance.
4
He'll
exactly.
be back on his feet. 4 minutes to go. Scott Snedden, let's have your BUCS Super Rugby player of the match this evening.
Care of your 9, but just
so I think it's got to be Rory Morgan from Cardiff Met. He's managed the game really well, and I don't like to say managed the game. He's actually been a real good threat as well in and around the base, despite not really having, you know, many opportunities to run. But what he has done is he's kept this Cardiff Met attack going, and he's put the Cardiff Met squad in the right positions to go and win the game.
And with that, he has just been substituted. So the man of the match, Rory Morgan, has been replaced by Ali Stacey. But 76 minutes on the clock. That is a good job, well done from him.
Yeah, there we are.
I mean, the job's not done yet, but it's going to take something pretty special from here.
Absolutely, I think Cardiff Uni now are just going to be looking to get the bonus point or get something out of this game if they can. But it's going to be tough going from halfway line, especially the way Cardiff Met have defended the second half.
Better dart there from Chapman. And there is Di Jones back on his feet. Finds Pollock, who's going to have a go himself. There's no one there for the offload, but they're up to the 10.
Play the advantage.
He's lost it forward.
Tackle, release!
Sometimes you just have one of those days.
I think that might be the 7th or 8th time that they've erred within the first phase or at set piece. So it's always going to be difficult. You're going to struggle to win games if you're not getting up, if you're not getting possession in the opposition's half and not keeping hold of the ball.
There's Ben Verbekas. Been a tough game for him today. He's one of those players who's not had a lot of first-team rugby's put in against Roma Zheng. Oh, is that forward? No, says the referee. But he's handled himself pretty well. Luke Bray, Max Ashton, Pello and Gatlanier have all been on that right wing. So in Popple. Ewan Guy warned off that ball now. Dunford wanting to put some width on it. Oh, Cardiff Met rushing out of the line and maybe allowing a bit of space here for Cardiff University, but they kick it away, and Ethan Morgan puts the footwork on. Oh, and then puts in a brilliant kick.
Can't see from where we're stood here, but I'm not entirely sure on that call. I think he was in the field of play.
Was he standing in when he caught it, or was he in the air? Jumped across. Okay, so it's a scrum. He's allowed to do it. Scrum.
I think the AR's made a mess of that.
AR's made a mistake, Dave. That's a great call from the referee.
I think he's been good tonight. I think he's been very clear in his communication. He's been in good positions, and regardless of whether you agree with the decision or not, he's been very clear on what his decisions are.
Yeah, I think I agree. Sometimes the breakdown can be a bit of a mess, but I think he's managed that pretty well today. And you know, I don't think it's actually his fault in terms of a running game of rugby, or the stop and starts have generally been because both sides have been a little bit inaccurate, mainly Cardiff.
Set.
Well, as this one comes to an end, we've got to say hello to our friend, our colleague, our new father, Joe Burns, who's watching with a new addition to the BSR family, Buster Burns, back in southwest London. Looking forward to welcoming you back to proceedings, Burnsy. Fingers crossed that you're a lot warmer than us.
Yeah, Burnsy, loving the name. I hope all is well with mother and son.
Hi.
I am freezing.
It's just slipped up. It's nothing more than a penalty.
Also, he has not been climbing into... That's a great kick. Oh, Ed Dunford has roasted one. Very few things make me happier in BUCS Super Rugby than an angry Ed Dunford, because he plays on the edge and it's brilliant. And I've got to give another shout out to Burnsy as well, because Exeter pumped luck for today and he hasn't climbed into me at all. So fair play. Good Ed, good man. Looking forward to catching up. Here's Chapman. Oh, he's overthrown another one, but it's come back Cardiff's way. Here's Phillips. He's had a great game, Ethan Phillips. Can Cardiff pick up a bonus point? Rolling out of the tackle, Dunford, one more, out to the wing. It's dotted down. They think they've scored. Rydian Williams.
I was a little block.
Thinks he's rescued a bonus point.
You thought it was forward, that's fine. Pass is forward.
Oh, the pass was forward. It is just not their day today. Rydian Williams thought he got the bonus point.
No, so it's 5 seconds left, so 5 seconds, so we got this play and then yeah, it's 5 seconds.
That's a tough one, Scott.
There's always a chance.
That is a tough one, because we talked about bonus points and them being really important in BSR, given, you know, anybody can beat anybody on their day. So if they had got over in the corner, even if they hadn't have got that kick, then, you know, that's a point, and wouldn't have been. No, it's only 3 tries, but 1 point's better than nothing.
Where will I step?
Well, they ended the first half on a high. Cardiff University.
Step off the line.
They've not been able to end the second. It has been a tough game for them. Danny Milton making his way somewhere.
Probably to the bar.
Yeah, probably.
Bind!
It is the Christmas social after all.
Set! In. Stay back, 9 behind the ball, 9 behind. Good.
Brad Roderick Evans kicks for touch. It's a return to winning ways for Cardiff Met. They go into Christmas in the top 4 in their quest for a home quarter-final of BUCS Super Rugby success. As for Cardiff University, that's 3 defeats in a row, 4 defeats in the last 5, punctuated only by a bonus point win over Nottingham. And after that, incredible start to the season. It is a healthy dose of reality for the red side of the Welsh capital. Full-time score here from Cardiff Arms Park. Cardiff 15, Cardiff Met 27. And Scott Snedden, Cardiff not accurate, Cardiff Met worthy winners, and that score probably a fair reflection. Yeah,
completely agree with you, and we spoke about half-time. I think Cardiff Met were probably the more physical out of the two sides, and they won the collisions, which allowed them to get in some decent field position, mainly really from some poor accuracy and also poor discipline from Cardiff Uni. You know, you're going to find it tough to win games when you set piece, in terms of, I think there was maybe 8 or 9 turnovers within the first phase in the opposition's half, so you're not going to convert that into points. But you've got to say credit to Cardiff Met. You know, they didn't have loads of opportunities, but the opportunities they did have, they took. You know, a couple of more, or 3 more tries, I think, in the end, and a couple of line breaks where they picked up and finished off. They'll be delighted with a win tonight.
Cardiff University throughout the year have found a way to stay in the fight, haven't they? They couldn't do that today in terms of the scoreboard, but they always felt as though they were hanging on, didn't they? They were so inaccurate. They gifted Cardiff Met so much possession, but even right up until the end, it felt as though they could get something. They'll be really disappointed with that.
Yeah, I think they will. You know, what Cardiff Uni always bring is an unbelievable defensive effort. You know, they get off the line and they'll disrupt your ball. They're real pests at the breakdown. And you know, they had opportunities to attack, but they just weren't accurate enough. So, you know, if you think they take 1 or 2 of those opportunities, you know, that game's a lot tighter. And maybe Met aren't getting the field position, and they're not making the most of their opportunities that they did have. So, yeah, I think Cardiff Uni will be kicking themselves a little bit, but you know, in this league, you know, you make errors, you're going to get punished, and that's exactly what happened tonight.
That's a comprehensive victory for Cardiff Met, and they have been hard to come by in this fixture and hard to come by in the last couple of weeks for the Archers. They've got a bonus point, they've got 5 points, takes them into 4th place going into the Christmas and New Year break. Scott and I are going to head pitch side, we're going to get some live reaction with man of the match Rory Morgan and winning coach Danny Milton as well. But of course, we never leave you without gifts. It is the Christmas spirit after all, so enjoy the tries and the highlights from the game, and we'll be back in a few minutes. party isn't cancelled.
Absolutely, Dave. We can certainly enjoy a couple of quiet pints tonight now.
Comfortable on the scoreline. You seem to be in control for large parts of that game, but it wasn't an easy 80 minutes, was it?
No, you're talking about two sides who've come off the back of two losses, and that's always sometimes challenging mentally to do, but what I can certainly say is we were looking for a response from the guys, and I thought emotionally and physically they were far more on it than they have been the last 2 weeks, and yeah, it was tough at times, but we're over the moon.
What went well tonight?
I think, like I said, the physicality, I think the energy, the work rate, the lad you're going to speak to now, I thought his kicking game was excellent, and like I said, emotionally, mentally, physically, we were at the races tonight.
Talk to me about a couple of the tries, because we've seen great set-piece tries, but Roma Zheng's finish, then the score just the other side of half-time as well, with the backs got in on it too.
Yeah, Jake Thomas there, former Cardiff Uni guy who actually, he had a tough time first time round. To see him get a score and to see him playing as well as he did and get over the line was great. And it's also been great to see Roma Zheng. After a tough time, he's really come back and brought some real performances the last couple of weeks, and I thought he was excellent tonight.
So you end that horrible losing run, you weren't happy with Loughborough, you weren't happy with Swansea. Just when it feels as though you can start to build some momentum, you've got Christmas and New Year. What are you going to expect from the boys in that break?
I think the first thing is to go home, recharge the batteries and have a break. BUCS Super Rugby's brutal with week after tough games, and to be able to have a bit of time off now, we'll come back. Our Saturday programme kicks off with Pontypool at home after Christmas, which is always a big game and something they'll be firing for, and then we're going to look got an opportunity to train against Wales 20s, and we'll look to build then in the new year before we go down to Exeter away first start after Christmas.
What a rivalry. So we end 2022, you're in the top 4, are you happy?
Yeah, I think after the last 2 weeks, I'm definitely happy tonight.
Rory Morgan's man of the match. He can't hear you at the moment, so a quick word on him.
Yeah, I think it was a real tough selection decision between him and Ali Stacey, and we know what Rory Morgan's kicking game is, and we brought him in for that reason, and he's delivered tonight, and I'm really proud of him.
Also, we've got friends watching around the world. Joe Burns not here this evening because, of course, he's just had the youngster. He says hello. Have you got a message for him and Buster?
Yeah, congratulations, Burnsy, and I'm looking forward to find out the real name soon.
Danny Milton, Merry Christmas. Let's bring in the man of the match, Rory Morgan. I'm not going to keep him out here in the cold for too long because it is freezing, but you must feel pretty warm after that 80 minutes. Congratulations.
Cheers, yeah. It was a massive game for us after last week's loss against Swansea, so yeah, we needed to bring a performance for the boys in. I thought our forward pack were absolutely unbelievable tonight, so yeah.
You say it's a massive game for you. Is it a massive game because of the results in the last couple of weeks, or is it a massive game because it's the Cardiff Clash and because it's so competitive and there's so much of a circus, a brilliant circus that surrounds it?
I think it's always going to be a big game, the Clash, before Christmas. Last year was the same. But we sort of had a point to prove to ourselves and the rest of the league tonight that after two losses, a tough game away at Loughborough is always going to be tough. But losing at home to Swansea wasn't acceptable for us, so it just made tonight that extra bit more special. So, yeah.
You seem to be really composed this evening. You had that incredible 50-22 that led to the try, then that lovely nudge that took us into the corner here. You were also getting dogs abuse from the Cardiff University fans. What was it like to really be in that cauldron tonight?
I think we all quite enjoy it, to be fair. You either enjoy it or you're going to go into a shell and not play well. So, yeah, it was important to get the energy going throughout the whole game, because we know in these sort of games, momentum can change, a few penalties and you're back in your own try line. They had a few good plays, we scored and they scored, and it felt like we were on the back foot for quite a bit of it at the start of the second half, but yeah, the boys dug deep at the end and we needed that big time.
Tell us about this group, about this club then, because BUCS Super Rugby, 10 great clubs, all with their own individual identity, but in terms of identity, Cardiff Men RFC is really one that likes to push itself to the forefront. So just give us an idea of what it's like to play for this team, to be a part of this great group with the Archers.
I think today sort of showed it, not just us boys on the pitch, but all the boys in the crowd as well. They love it. They love the day just as much as we do, so they're ready for it, talking about it all week as well. Coaches really invested in the day as well. So yeah, it's just a massive day for the club atmosphere, the culture around the place is great, and days like today make it so much better, and we'll all go out now in town. So
yeah, congratulations. Watch out, town. Revs tonight, is it?
Yeah, maybe.
Catch hold of me, it's my round. Merry Christmas, well played. Scott, come be my mate. Let's send this lot off into Christmas. Danny Milton likes to keep a lid on it, as always, but he's going to be really pleased with that tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he will. I think they were clinical at times when they needed to be. Physically, they had dominance. I think both sides of the ball. So I think Danny's going to be going into Christmas quite a happy man.
Yeah, well, he generally is. We've got to talk about Cardiff Uni, though, haven't we? Because we spent the last sort of 5-10 minutes pumping up Cardiff Met's tyres. But they're a club that are different to a lot of the clubs in this league. They don't have the same resources. They don't have the same player depth. Their targets are probably slightly different. But I think they'll probably go into the new year pretty optimistic about what they can do.
Yeah, I think they've got a great new facility. I've seen that online. That looks great. But I think they probably would have run Cardiff Met a little bit closer today if they'd been a little bit more accurate. I don't think their player pool's like Cardiff Met's, absolutely, definitely not. But what they do is that they'll probably never say die attitude. So they will always fight for everything, and I think that's probably something that they'll base their game on for the next couple of years whilst they've got the coaching team, and they'll always be difficult to beat. So they'll be in and around this league, I think, for definitely the next few years, and they'll be a tough side to beat.
Honest answer, do you miss it a bit?
I think it's a great game. It's a great league. Wednesday nights are exciting, like unbelievable crowds, and for the players the experience is awesome. So yeah, of course I do miss it.
And also, brilliant news, Georgie, we know that on Wednesday nights he's available for co-coms. Great job, mate. Thanks for your company this evening, and thanks for your company as well. Cardiff Clash done. Cardiff Met take the advantage into 2023, and that's where we will see you next time. We take a break now for Christmas and the New Year. We hope you have a great time. We hope you stay warm. We hope you stay healthy, and we look forward to you joining us on Wednesdays next year. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. Nadolig llawen a blwyddyn newydd dda. We'll see you next time.